So I've taken quite a few videos yesterday and then went home and was showing my daughter some of them and realized that my microphone was not working. So the headset jack was normally in my pocket, so I can listen to news radio, music, things like that. Always gets messed up. Well, this time it must have damaged the actual phone because it no longer works. So I took a bunch of videos and there's no audio. So I'll try and recap what I just did this morning and then what I've done yesterday. So I just put this wall up. This is the largest wall I've done so far. It was 24 feet and had to create some temporary bracing there in the middle. And I went ahead and raised my crane up as far as I can because I'm trying to see if I'm able to get the trusses up there. And right now I think I'm going to be short. I don't know, I gotta look at the specs. But if I can come from this side, at least get them up there, I can maybe get them, put them on the next 8-foot wall piece by piece. But anyways, that wall went up okay. It's kind of questionable because it drops off right here. And when your crane is reaching all the way out here to grab the strap, you're kind of teetering on the edge of that drop off. A little unsettling because your skid steer is tilting back and forth. Yesterday I started putting the floor joist on, and I had mentioned about lining up the floor joist over your studs. So if we look down the row here, if you look at this stud right here, you'll see they're all in line all the way down. And then if you look up, you can see right there, that joist sits right on top of it. This one sits right on top of it. That one right on top of it, and on down the row. So what this does is it takes your weight, and this will carry into my rafters and my joists all the way up. Will all be in line from top to bottom, all the way down. A couple things this does is when you're putting on your sheeting, everything's consistent all the way around the envelope of the house. But also, as far as your weight's concerned, the weight's transferred directly down through everything straight into your footing. There's no points like you don't have, rafters that are off a little bit and it creates a push point there. You gotta understand there's gonna be a lot of weight on here. So let's say I've got all that weight, the solar panels, the roof, furniture, all that stuff, and down here at the bottom, it's in the center. All that weight's pressing in the center. Over time, that could cause that to bow a little bit, and even bowing, an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch is going to start cracking your drywall, and then you're going to see your house with cracks all over the place. So that's important. Okay, you can see it here, right there, right there. So part of my planning was, when I pre-drew this, was to figure out how far out, which is my 1.5 inches plus my 7/16 ran over to this stud, and I can go 60 inches on center on down. This one you'll notice is a little bit wider, and that's because of this window. I think I was slightly off on that, and it's not going to matter a great deal. I've got a header up there, it'll be fine. So occasionally you run into those differences. I did screw up on my rafters though, not rafters, excuse me, on my floor joists. So I had this all planned out for 40 foot, 38 foot, and 20 foot floor joists. I bought them at an auction last fall. These are the beefiest ones you can get. It's a TJI joist, and it's a 560 series. So it's got basically a laminated or an LVL style 2x4 on both ends, and then the webbing in the middle. And they can span about 22 feet on a 480 deflection. And my widest span is in the shop area, and that's only going to be 18 feet, so I shouldn't have any issues with it. I could go a little bit, if I went up to like a higher one, like this is 11 7/8. Of course I didn't have that at the auction, but I could have spanned even further then, and my deflection would have gone down. But deflection weight comes into play with if you're going to be putting down like tile or things like that. Deflection is how much your floor is going to bounce. So the higher the number, the less deflection you're going to have. But we're not planning on doing tile or anything up there, so even if I did, it shouldn't be an issue. But I screwed up because when I brought these my floor joists up from the front field. I've got some videos of that, but of course I don't have any audio, so I'll probably have to do a dub over on it. I got them back here, and I thought that this pile was my 40s and this was my 38s, since they're not sitting end to end. I did that so I can pull the skid steer in here and load these, pick them up and back up. So I did that on purpose, offsetting them, but I really thought that was my 40s. No, I thought these are my 40s and that was my 38. Well, it turns out I had it backwards. So last night before I left, I loaded up 10 of these onto the roof, and those are my 38 foots. And then I actually cut down 2 of my 40 foots so I could work on getting in. A couple of these are already nailed in. These 10 on the right are not. So I actually took my perfect formula and messed it up, because I didn't realize I was cutting up a 40 foot versus a 38 foot. But it'll work out okay, because so there'll be a beam running down the center, which I'm hoping will come probably tomorrow. And then there's going to be a beam right here on this corner. So from this point to the other side is 36 feet. Of course, now I have 2 extra 38 footers. So on this beam, I can just run a small one out to the outside. This is all attic space. It's not finished at all. So it's not going to be really even holding any weight. So I solved that problem, although it was a silly mistake in the first place. I can't put this wall in yet because I have an LVL header and I'm waiting on my LVLs. I can't really put this wall in yet because how am I going to support it? I guess I could screw it to that tree. I could do that. That tree's coming down anyways. But I gotta look and see which wall was supposed to go in first. If I wrapped this wall around or if I wrapped this wall around. I'm not sure. If this one goes out to the end, I would be fine, but if I designed this one to go out to the end, then if I put this wall in, I can't get that one in there very easily. And because of the tree trunk and all out there, I'm going to actually have to bring the skid steer onto the slab this way to lift this wall up, which will be the first time I've had any real weight on the slab. I'm going to have to take my tracks off because those tracks will just rip up the concrete. Right now it's beautiful smooth. Either that or lay down a bunch of wood, plywood or something to ride on. Put in yet because the beam pocket sits on this wall. So I'll go from basically that saw line to the outside, and then my beam sits on top of there and runs into that beam pocket. So if I can get that built up and raised, then I can put that beam in, and then I can go ahead and run these floor joists out to the end of that beam, and then I'll be done with this section. And I've got to put a top plate on that one still too. The plan for my screw up on the putting those 38-foot floor joists up there is that my Tyvek flooring comes in, not Tyvek, excuse me, my Advantech flooring comes in. I'm going to go ahead and floor this section, and then those are going to actually go way up on top. So once that is done, I've got to build the wall, which has the beam pocket for my beam that goes all the way across. And I'm just going to have to basically pick those up one by one and transition them over onto the finished floor, and then eventually transition them up onto the top. And I can't do that until I get my flooring in, so I'm going to stand still on that until my LVLs and my flooring comes in, which is in the next delivery. Which could be today. I haven't checked my email yet, but so that's the plan. That wall is temporarily locked in place for now. I may go ahead and put a top plate on there just to tie those two walls together a little more. We're not expecting any wind. It should be pretty calm. It was really windy yesterday, but it should be pretty calm the next couple of days before our next storm system comes in. And hopefully by that time we'll have, hopefully by that time I would have wrapped around this corner and have my beam in, and then I can tie a lot of this together. Okay, today got a couple of the big walls up. A little bit ago I talked about how I was going to put a different wall up, but shortly afterwards the truck pulled in with my LVLs. So that's 3 LVLs up there. And again, probably overkill, but that's fine with me. And then got to do a walk through door there. Now that this is up, I kind of wish I would have put some windows in this wall, but that's fine. That's a south facing wall and it get a lot of sun, and we're trying to be solar passive, so I I do plan on having some windows in that door and that garage door there. And then I'm going to have the garage doors over here will have windows in them too, which face the north. So I'll get some light, natural light in there with not direct sunlight that way. So tomorrow, now that all my flooring, you can see it out there, my subfloor, I'm going to start putting that down on this level, second level, so I can build this beam pocket right here. Go ahead and put my stem wall in and build that up to the height of that, which is what the beam's going to sit on, and then set my 3 posts here in the center. So the plan, and I used it today, those wood planks that were already cut from the when I did the footings. I had to pull the skid steer in on here to raise this wall, and I tried to do it from the outside, and I tried to take the tracks off and nothing was working, so I probably wasted a good hour doing that. So finally I just went and got the boards and it worked fine. But the plan, see, it's Thursday, so Friday I'll hopefully get the flooring and all the beams and all that ready, all the posts and everything ready to put the beam in. And Saturday's goal is to get the beam in, and I'll probably go buy some more 20-foot 2x4 so I can go ahead and tack it in from this side. But yeah, I'm tired. Tired. Well, over there, from there all the way to about somewhere in there, that's the LVLs, 48 feet long. I gotta cut 2 inches off them. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna cut them off out there or get them up and cut them off that end, or what exactly I'm gonna do yet. It's probably best to have a little bit of extra wiggle room that I can cut them off flush. So I'm tired, get ready to head home. I'm glad I kept that stump over there because I was able to attach to it for supports. And then this tree we're planning on taking out because it's going to cover our panels. So this tree, that tree are going to come down, and probably this one go at an angle there, because this is a drive-through for the camper. So the idea is I put a drain over here. I can pull in this way. The dump will be in that corner. I can pull straight out, and then the house will be over there. There'll be a loop driveway. I can pull out and then loop around, not have to back or anything like that, which would be great. Where we're at, where the house we just sold at, I have to back down the driveway, and I have to back down it probably 500 feet. Yeah, 400 feet. Anyways, down a 12-foot driveway with the camper and the truck, and that's tough. I could do it. It's not a big deal, but still. Rather not if I don't have to. It's alright, going home, hungry.